Hi guys, welcome back to Saturday Morning Cartooning, the show where we learn about cartoon characters from the past, the people that created them, and then we learn to draw them together. Before we get started, let's take a look at some viewer art. Phenomenal cosmic powers in an itty-bitty living space. Today we're learning about the Genie from Disney's Aladdin. Disney's Aladdin is the animation giant's 31st animated film and was released in 1992. It's the classic Arabian Nights tale of a young street urchin named Aladdin who finds a magic lamp and is granted 3 wishes. The Disney version expanded the story and made the role of the Genie one of the movie's major highlights. Voiced by beloved actor and comedian Robin Williams, the Genie was a comedic, shape-shifting magical entity who is thousands of years old but is constantly spouting contemporary pop culture references. He also acts as Aladdin's best friend and moral compass. The character of the Genie was developed by the film's director John Musker and Ron Clements, and the Genie's principal animator was Eric Goldberg. After several character concept design sessions, the blue Genie we know and love was selected. The initial design concept for Disney's Genie was inspired by the work of famed caricature artist Al Hirschfeld, who is known for his swooping lines and curvilinear forms. This was also coupled with a nod towards Arabic calligraphy that utilizes many of the same line formations. Unlike other voiceover actors, Robin Williams was allowed to ad-lib many of his lines. The character animator would pick which lines looked the best as a visual gag and animated those, creating some of the funniest moments of the film or any Disney animated feature. Even the facial characteristics of the Genie resemble that of Robin Williams. Aladdin was a huge success and spawned many direct-to-video movie sequels like Return of Jafar and Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Aladdin was also a successful afternoon animated series, and there was a recent live-action film adaptation with Will Smith as the Genie. The character of the Genie and the stellar performance of Robin Williams was a major force of the movie's continued popularity. All right, let's get started with the Genie. If we take a look at the reference drawing, we're doing a full-body Genie. What's really cool about this kind of character is he is basically vapor. He's almost smoky, so he doesn't really have too much understructure except in his face, where his features are going to get a little bit intricate. And because of that, we're going to use an ultra fine point today, which is different from a fine point. I'll show you the difference in the camera. There we go. This is a fine point. It gives you a medium line. This is an ultra fine point, and it'll give you a very thin line. We're going to need that for inside his face over here. But he doesn't really have too much in the way of understructure or bones because he's very flowy, almost like he's made of smoke. So let's get started with his body composition. Make sure you have your paper, your pencil, your eraser. We're going to need a couple of colors today. We're going to need a light blue, then we're going to need a little bit darker, just very subtly darker blue. We're going to need red, and we're going to need yellow. And of course, black for inking later on. And make sure you have your eraser handy, just in case you need it. Let's get started. All right, so his head shape is going to be sort of like an oval, tilted that way, because his head is facing in this direction. All right, and let's put on some face lines. And face lines are just to help us put where the eyes and the nose and the mouth are going to be. And he's what's called a 3/4 side view character. We only see 3/4 of his face. The other quarter is behind that we don't see. And in that case, when we do the face lines, they're going to be a little bit slightly curved in that direction. So it's almost as if we tied a string both ways around a rock. All right, and then let's put on his torso, which springs out from the head. We don't see too much of his neck. And then it goes right into his chest. So if you can kind of see that line right there. Almost like a rounded triangle, really. All right. This is where one arm is going to come down, so we're going to draw, just remember, we're just doing basic shapes first. This is the top part of one arm, and then the bottom part. His arm is folding back in on itself, so this is going to be his arm going down, and then it's going to be coming right back up towards his torso. And then a shape for a hand. Again, we're just doing shapes right now. We'll do details in a little bit. All right, and then there's this arm that's going to be coming off the shoulder here. And almost like an upside down chicken leg. And that's the other hand there. So it's going to have one hand here, another hand here. All right, let's just move down a little bit. He is going to be in, of course, coming out of his lamp. So we're going to put right down here on the bottom of the page, we're going to put this little like rounded diamond shape. This is going to be the beginnings of the lamp. All right, so here is the handle that I'm drawing on. And then from this side of the diamond, we're going to swoop it out this way to the spout of the lamp. And then swoop it back in to the bottom. So that creates our lamp shape. And we can clean that up later on. Here's the little top of the lamp, and here's the foot of the lamp. Okay, now what's interesting about this particular character is we're doing the version of the genie that doesn't have any legs. It's just smoke coming out of the lamp. So what we're going to do is his torso is going to go into this tail section. So let's do this one side here, and we can be a little exaggerated with the shape because he's the genie. He can be in any kind of shape that he wants. So I just did this line, just going back and forth and then into the lamp. Now we're going to do the other side. Now it looks like he's got a smoky tail coming out of the lamp down here. All right. Now he's wearing this little sash that goes around his waist, acts like a belt, or just a little stopping point between his torso and his tail. So we're just going to draw a curved line here, and then it's going to be wrapping around him like this. Right? So there's his little tail, or his sash, connecting the tail to the torso. All right, let's work on his face. It's going to be a little bit, because it's a full-bodied character, like I said, the face is going to be a little intricate. So we're going to start with his ear. Now we're going to use this horizontal face line, and this is where we're going to attach the ear. It's going to start right about here, right before the horizontal line reaches the edge of the oval. So we're going to put his ear, and he's got a pointed ear. Sort of accentuates the fact that he is a magical character. And then we can put the little lines on the inside of the ear, almost like an upside down letter Y. Okay, and he's going to have one eye here, then his nose, and then the other eye here. But before we draw the eye in, he's got a very pronounced cheek. Really accentuates the fact that he has a smile. So we're going to draw two lines, almost like whiskers, right in the center over here of the face. And then have the eye come out of that. So that's his top brow. And then the eye connects there. Then we're going to draw his nose, and he's got sort of this hooked nose. It comes out and then down, and then back up. And then the other eye. Okay, and he's got tiny little pupils there and there. Now he also has very pronounced eyebrows, and they actually sprout out from the top of his head. So the top of his head is going to come out right here, and then it's going to make a quick angle right above that eye. There's also going to be another one right here. We can accentuate that with a thickened eyebrow. So one eyebrow is going to be here. It has a little tail at the end right over there. And then the other one is going to be along this ridge over here. Okay. And he's got this very wide smile. It's actually almost like a crooked smile. So this is going to be his top lip. And before we finish the rest of the mouth, I want to put on this cheekbone right here. He's got these cheeks that come right out and then down. So he's going to have eyebrow, eyebrow, cheek. And then this is going to be his jaw eventually. But let's do his, let's draw the jaw in. Then we can make sure that the mouth stays inside the jaw. So the jaw is going to come around this way and connect to this side. There. And there's the jaw. All right. The other side of the mouth this is his top lip here, and then the bottom lip we're going to leave a little space, and then we're going to have it go down this way and then back up over this way. All right. His teeth, he's all teeth. So the top teeth are going to come down, then it's going to go out a little ways and then down. So that's what makes his smile look crooked. It's not really crooked, it's that his teeth are jutting out, the bottom teeth are jutting out. And we're going to put this little space in between. It's almost like a little shark fin right there. And we can shade it in a little bit. So now it looks like it's without having to draw all the teeth all the way across, it looks like his teeth are so white that they join and you don't even see where they separate. Okay. Before we move into everything else, like his beard and the top of his head and the little ponytail, we have to draw on a little earring. So he's got this little earring coming out from the front of the ear, going to the back of the ear. All right. Now, his beard is going to come down from his smile line in between his mouth and his jaw. So it's going to come down this way, and then eventually it's going to merge with the jawline. All right, we don't see where it connects on the other side, but he has this curly queue at the end of his beard. Sort of like a stylized swirl. Okay. He's got this little circular bead at the top of his hair and this little black ponytail. All right. That was probably the hardest part of the characters because he has such finely detailed facial features. So let's do this hand first. So we're going to start with a thumb. Alright, so here's his thumb going into the palm of his hand. And he's got two fingers going out, one, and they're pretty stubby. There's one there, and there's one there. His pinky finger is going up slightly, so we're going to draw a line going up, then going down into what is going to be the palm of his hand, and then connect it together. All right. This is going to be his forearm. That can be connected all the way around to his shoulder. And he's wearing these bracelets around his wrists. And they're going to be yellow, but we're going to also put a little shine on them. So that's what these lines are for. All right. He doesn't have too much in the way of torso anatomy other than just this line here. It's sort of just indicating a chest area. Oh, and he does have a little belly button right here. Okay. The other shoulder comes down this way. This will be his forearm. That's his gauntlet, or his bracelet. And then this is going to be his pinky. Finger, finger, thumb. And just the suggestion of a palm of the hand. Alright, I think that's all the pencil lines we need, although we can put in some decorative lines on the lamp. And they have these scalloped edges that just look like half almond shapes, if that makes sense. You don't have to worry about too much about the lamp because it's so small you don't really see too much of the decoration, so do what you like. And then just the interior handle line. Okay, we're ready to start inking. So remember what I said. I think a ultra fine point would be really helpful this time around because there's so much detail to the face. So let's start with that. His cheeks. One eye. Then the nose. And then the other eye. You can just put in the pupils. Notice how when I do the eye, it's sort of a line going up, and then you take a little break, and then a line going down. It's a very Disney looking eye. If you look at a lot of Disney characters, they have those kind of eyes. Smile line. Top lip. Bottom lip. Teeth. Interior teeth line. Now you can really see how that looks like a wide smile now. Eyebrow, cheekbone, jawline. Darken in his eyebrow. Here's the other eyebrow. Top of the head. Ear. But I'm stopping, I'm not doing the entire ear because I want to ink in the earring first. So there's where the earring connects to the earlobe, and then it goes around to the other side of the ear. So now it looks like he actually has an earring in there. Alright, and now the interior ear line. Again, it just looks like a upside down lowercase y. There's that little bead. That's sort of like his ponytail holder. And he's got this tiny little ponytail coming off the top of his head. Just darkening in his beard that connects to his jawline, and then the jawline behind the beard connecting to the ear. And we can darken in his little curly Q beard. He has lots of curves to him. If you remember from the slide presentation, that's all due to the influence of the famous caricature artist Al Hirschfeld. So he's very curvilinear, and again that means lots of curved lines in the Genie. All right, let's do this hand. Just going to just alter that line because I think I made it too thick last time. There we go. Alright, let's do the other side. Should probably ink in those shine lines too. Okay, and his chest line and his belly button. Now let's do the sash. We want to make it look like it's going completely around him. Go over that line one more time. And this is the smoky line, which you don't really have to ink it if you don't want to, but because I did everything else, I'm just going to stay consistent. And remember, the decorative detail of the lamp is not that important, so don't worry about being too detailed. But before I do my erasing, I'm going to, while I have my black marker out, just going to color in his tiny little black ponytail. Okay, at this point, let's take a couple minutes. Just erase our original pencil lines. Okay. Pencil lines erased. Now it's time to add a little bit of color. And we're going to need light blue, a little bit of a darker blue, very, very subtle difference. And that's just in between the torso and the smoke part. Red and yellow. So let's do the yellow first because that is the color that is the lightest, and we want to get that out of the way. When you color it in, you can leave the white section in the center open, or you can color in the whole thing too, and the shine lines that we drew with the ink would be fine for that too. But if you wanted to actually show some shine, you could leave one of those sections white. Alright, and then of course a little bead up at the top, and don't forget his earring, that also is going to be yellow, and then of course the lamp. Okay. Next color, red, and the only thing that's going to be red is his sash. You can add some darker lines going over, layering that color on so it actually looks a little bit more like fabric, adding some shadow with the red. Now we're going to do light blue for the top part of his body. So be very careful inside his face because there's lots of those little lines and little delicate places that you don't want to get blue. That was the toughest part, just getting the inside of the face, because it's so intricate that you might get blue in a spot where you don't want blue. Alright, so now we can do the body and the arms and the hands. Be careful around the earring, because if you get blue on it, it'll look green. We don't want that. Okay, and then if you have a different color blue that maybe is slightly darker, that's what we'll do the tail section. If you only have the one light color blue, just stick with the light color blue. You probably can't even tell on the screen too much, but it is slightly darker. That was a lot of blue, but we're all done. Here we go. Genie.